Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast, which we are calling Nextcast. And if you recall, it has been 5 months since our last one, and we decided to bring it back because we thought it was time. I'm Andrew.
Nazrin.
And I'm Effie.
And we're going to talk about several things today, and we're going to start it off with Google Stadia, the company's cloud gaming service. So, what are our thoughts on it?
Nazrin, you start first. You're the designated hardware guy on the PC.
That's the thing, okay. There's no hardware.
There is one thing, the controller.
The controller, but that's like kind of the accessory because you technically could use, I think, any controller.
Yes,
any gaming controller with it. But technically, it's a gaming. It's like Andrew mentioned. It's a cloud gaming service. It's a service whereby you can play console or computer games from anywhere, anytime, using any device that you own. Because it's technically just a software service that you can connect to from your phone, your laptops, PCs, TVs, smart TVs, even Chromecast, right?
Yes,
if I'm not wrong, even Chromecast as well.
For phones, if I'm not mistaken, it's limited to Pixel phones at the moment.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but for your PC, you could just use a Chrome browser.
It's quite interesting because the hardware is technically everything is on Google's side, right? In fact, the service itself allows. I'm not entirely sure because they say it's a subscription-based service. So on top of that,
technically they haven't said anything yet. So we don't know what's the model of payment that they're gonna go through with Stadia.
So I think it should be a subscription-based service because
that's the logical one, but it's Google, so I don't know. Maybe they have something else in mind.
They say and the other thing is that you would think that you could play just about. They say it supports all sorts of game engines like Unreal,
Unreal and Unity are those two.
Those were the ones mentioned. But I think it's also mentioned that developers would have to create games for the Stadia platform as well, because chances are probably some things have to be changed in order for them to support that sort of. So the interesting thing about this is that the promise that you can stream up, you can say stream, not stream, play up to 4K 60 FPS.
Yes, that's games. The minimum benchmark that they're going to set for the launch.
Minimum benchmark. It's interesting to say because 4K.
We will launch at 4K 60 FPS. And supposedly you only need a 25 Mbps connection for that.
And also it's scalable to 8K.
Eventually, right? I think they mentioned it's eventually able to go to 8K. But bandwidth aside, I think the main issue would probably be latency. You know, when you input whatever commands you have from your controller or keyboard and mouse to the server itself, and come back to you, that would obviously be one of the bigger problems. Because in some cases, sometimes if a game isn't exactly programmed correctly, even if you're using a console or a PC, latency is an issue, and that's just USB, right? And you know, if you're using USB 2.0, the bandwidth itself there is quite limited, and then when it comes back to you, that's going to be an entire different issue altogether. It's an interesting concept. I quite like it, but at the moment, there is nothing yet from Google. They just say, we're doing this thing. You'll find out more about it eventually. They didn't even say when exactly.
They said they're going to reveal more in summer.
But it's launching by late 2019.
It will be launching in 2019.
US, Canada, Europe, and what's the other market? I can't recall.
UK, was it? I think apparently UK and Europe.
Most of the Western markets, definitely.
The other thing is that they have announced one game, which is Doom Eternal, I think, which supports Stadia. No news on any other games or developers.
You can actually argue that Assassin's Creed, what's the latest one? Odyssey. It's a launch game in a way because they tested it. It was previously under the name of Project Stream. In case you're not aware, it was announced late last year.
I think so.
Last year,
it concluded in January.
Yeah, and from all the literatures and all the videos I've seen online, it's not bad actually. The level of graphic is slightly under the Xbox One, better than the PS4 Pro, but they say the latency is about 166 milliseconds, which is just slightly higher than Xbox One. So that's a beta, and they say they managed to code it down to 144. Still not good for FPS, but let's say if you're playing a game like Assassin's Creed where you don't actually need that Twitch connection, or you're playing some games maybe like an adventure game, you probably won't bother much about the latency. It will not be such a big issue. But for me, if I can interject now, this is something that I've been dreaming for the last 20 years, where you can play anywhere, where you don't have to worry about specification, because I'm mainly a console gamer. But you know that after the second year of the console, you will see that PC graphic will surpass console without problem. And now we have RTX and everything. And we already know that Unity now supports RTX, so you can probably see RTX kind of graphics, even though you don't have an RTX card. So that's an interesting thing, because for me, the main problem of me with PC gaming is just the initial cost of buying all the hardware.
Yes, definitely.
So for me to enjoy this high fidelity, high frame rate, I need to probably plop down 4,000 to 5,000 ringgit. With a service, let's say even if you say that it's 20 or 30 ringgit a month, when you look at the long-term cost of subscribing, it's still cheaper than buying a PC than having to upgrade it within 2 years. So this is a dream that I've been wanting for so long. I'm glad that the technologies are here, but on the caution side, okay, we've seen some services, some similar services being launched earlier.
Yes.
One is on live, then we have Gaikai, and then we have PlayStation Now. Xbox.
Xbox streaming hasn't been launched yet, but that's the streaming and things like that.
So basically, we go to PlayStation Now. It's been launched since 2014, if I'm not mistaken. It's very limited rollout, even though it's like 600 games. It's a subscription base. But Sony is having problem when it comes to infrastructure. But we know we have Google now. Google will not have any problem when it comes to rolling out services, because they're basically the masters of doing that. And if there's any other company that will be able to compete with that, it's Microsoft and Amazon. So I have a lot of reservation earlier when I heard about the announcement of services, but then when I look at the demos and everything, it's cool, but we live in Asia. We have to remember we live in Asia, and I said internet is not stable, and then always you probably get like the second or third market when it comes to launching. So it's cool, but I wouldn't. It's just like 5G. I don't expect it to come within 2 years, so we have to wait a bit.
My other issue with it is that we don't know what the business model for this particular service is like. It could be a subscription service, but subscription service is just a service or you get a library. I'm guessing you'll probably get some games, but others like AAA titles, if assuming they're coming to that platform, you would probably have to buy buy games, an additional fee. That's another problem. And would developers actually be on board to develop games for another platform?
Yes. I mean, as it is developing for both console and PC, it's really adapting. And sometimes they could experience on console and something from PC.
But it's basically x86. Correct. So in terms of porting it, I don't see that's an problem. Let's say it's using Linux is already compatible with all games. You can get
on Steam. Yes. Steam is basically like the last bastion for Linux-based games. They have support that is like continuous, and it's not official support. It's technically a fan thing. I mean, people who play the game, they would help create support for Linux, for the Linux platform. Google would have the resources, I have no doubt, but it still depends very heavily on the developer side, whether or not they want to bother doing something like that for, and what would they get out of it.
I mean, Google did say that over 100 developers have the developer kit already, and supposedly over 1,000 engineers are already working on games for the platform. So I mean, it's Google. If Google asks you to do something, I'm sure most will be more than happy to do it.
But you also have to remember they have Phil Harrison that used to work for Microsoft, used to work for Sony, and they also have Jay Raymond, who used to work in Ubisoft. So you have these really industry veterans who actually know their stuff. So they have the right people to make it work.
But I mean, at the end of the day, for me, Stadia could be a good thing, could be the next big thing for Google. But we need to know the business model and how it will perform in a country like us. Because 5G is probably miles away from us, and latency, that would be my biggest thing. Because I can take acceptable graphic performance because they do encode the videos and things like that. I could sacrifice some fidelity for a good experience because it's transferable from any platform, PC or to a phone, to tablets, TVs. It's very promising, but we'll just have to see.
Now here's the question I've been wondering since it was announced. Are users willing to go to a totally non-physical copy of their games? Like for me, if I can speak from my point of view, I like my games physical because I know from experience you have certain games that are offered, say on Steam, then after a few years they'll be gone on Steam. For example, Mafia, the first Mafia, it went off from Steam because of licensing issues, and when they put it up again, they lose some music. The same goes to GTA San Andreas. They have to upload everything, remove some of the songs. For me, music is part of the experience of gaming. If you have to re-upload because of licensing, it's not the same game anymore. So I guess having a physical copy will actually make sure that I will experience the game again 6-7 years down the line the same way. So that's the thing though. I'm still not really open to buying totally digital games at the moment because I really like having physical and see it right under my television. So that's part of the experience of being a gamer. But I'm 40. I don't know about you guys. You have that connection with physical copies?
I've got a small room, and if I were to put my Steam library into physical form, I wouldn't be able to see the floor. I'm just gonna say, I've got over like $2,000 worth of games.
Oh man!
On my library, and that's just the PC games. So including my PS4 games, so including my Switch games. Yeah, that's digital for me is all about convenience. The reason why I love PC gaming in general is because games tend to. I'm a cheapo, so I just buy stuff during the Steam sales, right? And they go on ridiculous discounts. Like you can get stuff for like 70% off, 60% off, and these are like games that just came out like a year ago or half a year ago, even depending on how popular the game is at the time. It's. And I'm only on like 1, 2, 3 different because with the PS4 and the Switch I usually just get exclusives. If anything else comes on the PC, I just buy it on the PC.
How about you?
I mean, if Steam can work, I'm sure this can work too because convenience is key. People wouldn't mind sacrificing some just for the sake of convenience because human beings as well are lazy. If it makes things a little bit easier for us, we wouldn't mind sacrificing some things here and there. And I mean, based on just how successful Steam is to selling digital copies only, I'm sure it could work. But again, it comes back to the business model because Steam offers huge discounts. And can Google do the same? Because we don't even know what they're doing. It's possible that they will give you like a Game Pass, and if you subscribe to us, we'll give you this library for free. But if you want a specific game, you can just buy the price of the game and you play it. Sort of Origin's business model, I think.
But you would have to pay. I think you would have to pay because technically speaking, Google is also providing the hardware. Because with Origin and whatever else, even Steam, hardware is on you. You control whatever the hardware. And that's the other question. Are there going to be tiering on different kind of hardware on Stadia?
So sort of like Netflix. So if you pay this amount, you get
premium HD.
You get Ultra HD.
I think that would be a good idea for Google. I mean, not everyone's probably gonna like want to play on the highest fidelity. So if you want to just play 720p 60 FPS, you'll have like this hardware bundle every month. If you want to upgrade it, just add a bit more and then they'll upgrade you to a different tier. It's technically it's technologically possible, and in fact you can do it really quickly, apparently these days. And yeah, the question for now is still just the library. Like, how are players gonna be able to buy the games, or is it come together with whatever subscription fees, assuming that there are any?
But as it is, they are calling. I think most folks are calling this the next generation. Like, this is not competing with the PS4 or the Xbox One. Rather, it will be competing with the PS5 or whatever Microsoft is going to release.
Which brings me to a very interesting question. What do you guys think of the specification? Because I think they put it like 10.1 gigaflops processing power compared to 6 on the Xbox One X and 4.6 for the PS4 Pro. Is a 10.4 gigaflop machine with 16 gigabyte of memory, shared memory, even though it's HBM2. Is that good enough for a gaming machine?
On paper, it's super powerful.
I just remember this one statement that Gugu said. This platform is more powerful than the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One combined.
Yeah, correct. But it all boils down to how good your internet connection is.
Yeah, and also they can always tell that it's upgradable. They're going to upgrade, but how often they're going to upgrade that?
Yeah.
So it always keep on upgrading the specs. I don't think.
I think the promise is that they will always, whatever game you want to play, you should be able to play at the highest resolution, highest fidelity possible. I think that's what Stadia, Google is promising with Stadia.
But it's only 52 CU. It's not even,
well, I would argue
even as good as an RTX. So that's the question.
I would argue it's efficient.
Okay.
Because it's the same thing with console versus PC.
Okay.
While yes, with the PC it's possible for you to get like 4K 60 FPS, highest graphical fidelity and whatever. The PS4 and Xbox One technically aren't that far behind, because some games you could still play 4K 60 FPS with the PS4 Pro or the Xbox One X. The graphics technically, if you see on paper, are they on par with each other? No. But you could still technically get the same gaming experience on both. So yeah, I think that's the difference between the two. But I am still very skeptical about this, because a lot of people don't seem to take into account the user's internet connection and the latency from the server to the user. Because even with the controller, right? The Stadia controller they mentioned, it connects directly to the server.
Yes, that's the thing.
I don't know how that works.
In theory, it sounds great because you will reduce latency.
Because you're still connecting your controller to your internet connection first, right? So, I mean, I'm pretty sure it doesn't use that much bandwidth, but the problem is it's always still about that latency.
This, for me, it leads to 5G.
Yeah.
Because 5G promises what?
Low latency,
incredibly low latency.
So 1 ms, 2 ms.
If by some miracle 5G comes to us this year or next year, it could work, but it's all theoretical things that we are saying. I mean, even Stadia as well is still a theory, because we don't see the product itself yet. It's an idea, they present you with this is our vision, but there are just so much more unknowns about Stadia.
My problem with that is that if you're using 5G to connect your controller to the Stadia service, you have to use your phone because your house internet is probably most likely not going to be 5G capable.
Yeah, you also have to upgrade to a Wi-Fi 6 router at home to truly enjoy that low latency.
Yeah, that's the other issue. Is the one and only Wi-Fi 6 router out in the market at the moment costs 2,500 ringgit.
Really?
The Asus.
The Asus, the AX1900G.
That is a lot.
And it's assuming you have like gigabit internet connection or at least 500 megabits per second. And if you really want to invest 2,500, that's the thing, is the cost of investment in all these things. I mean, you just look at the service by itself. Yeah, it's cheap, but you know, the other costs that come in order to make that service work for you is a totally different thing altogether. If you want to buy the Stadia controller to get the best, that's another cost incurred. Yes. I don't think Google is going to send you a Stadia controller just because it's subscribed to the service.
I mean, it's possible. Maybe that's going to
assuming they even sell it.
Package and
if they're selling it at the Google, if they're selling it at the
very
Google
much.
store, then you know.
Yeah, because we
you're
don't get
out of
much
luck, yeah.
Google hardware
Yeah,
here.
you only get the Chromecast.
But I mean, it depends on how much you want to push Stadia.
Yeah.
Because the Asian market is huge,
Yeah.
and I would say Malaysia is a pretty big market. To some
I
manufacturers.
hope they do. In fact, okay, here's my pro about the Stadia. What could be? Google obviously has CDNs all around the world, and they obviously have CDNs in Singapore, probably Thailand, Indonesia, maybe even. What could happen is that we could connect to the service to these servers instead of just to the ones in the US or the UK. I mean, technically now the service is only will be available there, but assuming they roll it out to this region, they already have CDNs in this area.
Yes, yeah.
Similar to what Netflix is also doing. Netflix does have CDNs in Malaysia, Cyberjaya, I believe, and that is how we get like super quick load times to all their content. Like literally whatever content's available here, super fast to connect, right? I think that's probably what Google will try to do with Stadia.
Yeah,
I think.
but I mean, what I tell myself in my head is, if there's any company that can make cloud gaming work, it would be Google.
It will be Google, exactly.
But
I hope Steam does something as well. They already have the library.
yeah, but
They do need the hardware, so work with AWS or whoever.
And surprisingly,
They could.
AWS already introduced like support for Turing cards.
Yeah.
So it's the hardwares are there.
Yeah.
I think as long as a matter of all these companies working together to make it work.
Yeah.
Which always and I'm sure when they license all the games to Steam, it's probably just for selling, not for streaming.
Correct.
Then they have to make another deal for that.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, I mean, with Steam, theoretically, what I would do is that if you have a Steam account, you have all these games. All you need to do is probably just like pay like a $5 fee a month to access the cloud computing side of things.
I mean, I'm sure they have the resources to just like Google, maybe to a lesser extent, but still it's a giant company, it's an entity. But the thing is, even with Steam Link, it's not that
Streaming
much
is
of a...
mostly for I
I mean,
haven't
you have to
read-
have the PC
Yeah,
first,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
and then you can stream it to anywhere else.
Yeah.
But I think they're working it from a small scale first, and then maybe move it to the cloud.
They started off with the Nvidia Shield, right? I think
Yes.
that's how technically all this technically you have to be in the same network, but you're remotely playing away from your PC. Yeah, so it's
We totally forget about Microsoft and Xbox. They also have a service, but from what I've read, the hardware is actually lower than an Xbox One. So would that work more?
I'm to be honest, I'm not much of a Xbox guy, but they do have some leverage in the sense that they have exclusive titles.
They have a lot of exclusive. I think
they have some, I guess. I don't know if they have.
I mean, they already
they have a backlog of
backlog.
titles because technically speaking, the Xbox One is backward compatible with the Xbox 360, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong. Yeah. So I think that's where their library will come from, and that's great because the 360 was actually like really competing really well against the PS3 at the time. So I think Xbox Live, I don't know what to say about the feature because technically it's not available here.
Yes,
Not officially.
Even the console is really difficult to find.
and this is after what 20 years of Xbox, still not here. Microsoft wants something.
They've given up. Even Singapore doesn't have it anymore. I think they closed down.
They started last year, I think.
Wow.
Singapore was the only country in the region with
Yes.
the Xbox support. So
The closest one to us.
And last question, I guess, will this kill gaming as we know it? Will it kill gaming? If I can start, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because as I said, I love physical games. I don't really like to be online all the time. Yeah, because
that's the thing, right? If
That's
your
the thing.
internet's down, you can't play.
Because you remember when they launched the Xbox One, they said it has to be online all the time, and people are so pissed off because of that.
Yeah.
And when you look at America, when they still have a lot of capping when it comes to internet bandwidth, so that's another hurdle. For me, that's what the way I see it. This will complement, but it will never replace console gaming for me.
I wouldn't use it as a main gaming
Platform.
platform. To me, that's still the PC. the consoles. This I think would be a great if you're not keen on buying hardware, you don't have enough space, you have like a laptop that you've been using for the past 2-3 years, and then you see this platform comes up that promises you heaven and earth. Okay, you can play your games at 4K 60 FPS, no problem. All you need to have is an internet connection, and you have an internet connection. You know, most places do these days, and it's fine. I think if you're that sort of person, it's great for them. But yeah, for me, as a bit of a purist, I'll still stick to my PCs and consoles.
Yeah, it's still the same for all of us here. Console gaming, at least for me, is still here to stay because I myself am more of a single player gamer. No matter how big battle royale games like Apex Legends and Fortnite go. They don't offer the same depth and excitement as a single player game like The Last of Us. The Last of Us Part 2 is coming up soon. I mean, and I like the idea of just going offline, enjoying a single player game on my own. Because I don't need to be constantly connected online.
But we forgot to talk about one thing. They also mentioned that Stadia can make it very easy for players to share their game online, right? YouTube, I think it was streaming on
they
YouTube.
have this state save, was it?
Yeah.
That say your favorite streamer is playing on YouTube, and like, oh, that's an interesting part of the game, I should go in. So you just click a button or something like that, and you can be directly transported to that part of the game, and you can start playing. It's a really good idea. Like, I agree, but
you can
don't know how good it is,
and you can actually share the moment on any social media. There's a play now button. That is cool. But do you really want to play a later part of the game just because it's for me, like, why? I want to play from the start. This doesn't make sense whatsoever. But it's a cool idea.
No, but people watch other people play video games now, so I guess
maybe it's not for us. It doesn't gel with us because it's a totally different direction. But I see where they're going, and it's cool.
It's a very good idea, but I wouldn't say Stadia would kill console gaming or any other platforms of gaming, but
they'll add more gamers. They'll add more gamers.
It could change the landscape to an extent. But it depends on how Stadia is launched in reality. Very promising, but too many unknowns for now. So that's it for this episode of Nextcast, and until the next one, this has been great. It's been very enlightening, I guess. Stadia is great, good work, but we'll see.
Yeah, and then as usual, if you have any suggestions on what topics you'd like to hear us talk about, or you probably have a different opinion on what we've just discussed, just leave a comment below.
Let us know. We read every single one of them. Trust us.